Okay, what this is going to be is a short introduction to the Audacity program, where we're actually going to be playing it. I'm making a video. I need to point out to you I had a piece of music that I wanted to play because this winds up going on to YouTube. There were issues regarding royalty and stuff like that. So I wound up just taking one of the most famous speeches in the world, and we're just going to use that. It's a speech by John Kennedy about going to the moon, which happened a long time ago, long before you, but I got to hear it a long time ago. So we're going to start out with that particular piece of material. I'm opening the file as soon as I find it. Here it is. So it loads the file. And then after it's been loaded, what I'm going to do is begin to play it. So it's now playing.
We choose to go to the moon in this decade and do the other things, not because they are easy, but because they are hard. Because that goal will serve to organize and measure the best
the video
of our energies and
audio to show you what it looks like in more detail.
Challenge is one that we're willing to accept,
if I click on the
one we are unwilling to postpone, and one we intend to win.
It's already, oh, there it goes. Okay. And if you right-click the mouse,
it is for these reasons
then you'll see it go back the other way.
I regard the decision last year to shift our efforts in space from
the
low
other thing
to
that
high
you're able
gear
to do, if I
is
go
among
here
the most
to the
important
selection
decisions that will be
tool,
made during my
I can
incumbency in the
actually
office of the
highlight
presidency.
part of the file.
In the last 24 hours,
I better do
we
it
have
back
seen
here 'cause I don't
facilities
want to
now
delete
being created
something that I
for
haven't
the
heard
greatest
yet.
and
So
most
now I'm going to hit
complex
the delete key
exploration
and it will
in
cut that
man's history.
section that I highlighted.
We have felt the ground shake
It says don't do it.
and the air shattered by the testing of a
Well,
Saturn
I'll
C-1
pause it.
booster rocket,
We'll see what happens.
many times as
Guess
powerful
not.
as
So
the Atlas
I'm going
which
to stop
launched
it
John Glenn.
by hitting the space bar. You can stop and start the file by hitting the space bar. So what we're going to do now, I'm going to highlight a section. Let's suppose there was noise in here that I wanted to get rid of. And so what I would do is highlight it, hit the delete key, and it's gone. Click to another place, wherever you click to, and then hit the space bar and start playing from that point.
And they were far more sophisticated and supplied far more knowledge to the people of the world than those of the Soviet Union. The Mariner spacecraft.
Those few examples are pretty sufficient to understand how to use this particular
The Mariner
program.
spacecraft, now
You
on
want
its
to be
way to
able to
Venus,
play, stop,
is the most
pause,
intricate instrument
record.
in the
This
history
allows
of
you to
space
zoom
science.
to the beginning and the end
The
of the
accuracy
file.
of that shot
One of the other things,
is
if I
comparable
stop
to
it,
firing a
because this comes up a lot, that you want to be able to do it. If I'm at this point and if I hit the home key, it'll take me to the beginning of the file. If I were to hit the end key, I believe it'll take me to the end of the file. Okay, so again, I'll go back to the beginning. So if you hit the home key and the end key, that's a quick way to get to the beginning and the end of the file. Another thing that you will probably want to do when you're working with audio is I might later on like to be able to record something and also be able to save what I have recorded. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to open up a new Audacity window. And what I'm going to do in here, click New, I'm going to record. And what I'll be recording is my voice. So once I hit the record button, now it's starting to record. I think what I need to do is to lower the volumes coming out of the loudspeaker because it's feeding back. So right now, I'm just recording the information. When I'm all done, I can just hit the space bar and it will stop. Notice also that these are amplitude indicators, okay? This is on the playback coming out of the loudspeaker, this is on the record coming out of the microphone. As long as you're in the green, you're okay. If you start to talk too loud, then you'll overload and it'll actually clip off on the top of the waveform. You can see that it got chopped off over there. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to stop recording by hitting the space bar, hopefully, not today. I'm going to have to hit the stop button in order to stop recording. And now what I'm going to do is save it. Now, if I saved it by the normal method, I would go over here and save the project. That saves it as an Audacity file, which is not a standard audio file. More common audio file is an MP3, and so what I'm going to do is I'm going to export this file with the recording of my voice as an MP3. So I'll go over here into this area, and I'll give it a name. I'll call it RM1, and save it. Now, once it's been saved, I could then, if I were to get out of this window and start a completely new window to work in, I could now open and find the file if I knew where it was. See where I put it. One of the tricks, here it is, RM1. So there's the file that I just recorded. Record button. Now it's starting to record. To raise the volume slightly over here. I think what I need to do is to lower the volume that's coming out of the loudspeaker because it's feeding back. So that's really all there is to right now as far as the basic operation information of the Audacity program. I'm all done. Oh, one of the things that I did not show you that I want to make sure that I show you. Notice also, I'm just recording. One of the things that you're able to do, this is a picture basically of what my sound looks like as a function of time, okay? And when it bursts like that or like that, what it's really doing is, because that's where I actually said a word, okay? If I really zoomed in, I think I'll do that just to try and show you what it looks like if you were to zoom in a tremendous amount. You can actually see the individual waveforms, which kind of look like sine waves almost, okay? And the little dots with the vertical lines are the samples that are taken, because this is all recorded digitally. So here you can see them. They look kind of sinusoidal. What I'm also able to do, besides looking at the waveform versus time, if I go over here to Analyze and say I want to see the spectrum, then it will show me the frequency content of my waveform that I recorded. The low end is around 50 hertz or 50 times per second. It's going up and down, and maybe 15 to 20 kilohertz is the high end. You can see that most of my voice is in the low range from 50 to about 1,000 hertz or 1,000 cycles per second. The project that you're going to be doing today is going to be where you're going to have a piece of audio that has been contaminated purposely by adding in some big tones of sine waves. In other words, you're going to have two sinusoidal tones that will be added to the regular audio, and they will be so much louder that they will prevent you from understanding what the actual audio message is. What you're going to do is you're going to learn how to remove the noise signals and recover the original audio, and that's what your project is going to be. You're going to be given 10 audio samples that have contaminations on them, and you're going to learn how to remove that extra information that's here. So we'll be talking about that in a little while. So for right now, what I want to do is I'm going to stop this part of our little description of how Audacity works, and talk to you soon.